Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here with another episode of D.O.U.G Talks. I know what you're thinking. Why is this goon back on TV? But we had to do it because in this man's eyes, it's a family episode. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I decided to podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This man's got credentials so much that I'm trying to maintain the wood. You understand what I'm saying? This man is a good-looking guy. Okay, this guy gives me so much love when I wake up in the morning, and he don't even know me. This is the first time I ever meeting, guys. This guy's been on the Jim Gaffigan show. He's been on Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. He was on Difficult People. He was on Gotham. He was in Manifest. You know what I mean? This is a big deal for me because I love this man, and the fact that he decided to take the time out of his day to just come see a little misfit like me, it means the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause for the size of this man because he is good looking every single ounce. It's H. Foley. Oh, my goodness.
I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Oh, my goodness, man. First of all, you're fantastic. I can't stop complimenting you.
Thank you, buddy. Happy to be here.
This is so cool. So I've been a fan of yours for about right before Are You Garbage. I saw a Gotham comedy live video on YouTube, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen you in the skits and whatnot with Gillian Keeves. I'm obviously a big fan of Are You Garbage.
Thank you, buddy.
I just had to pay bills, so I wasn't a patron this month.
It's okay.
That's real garbage. But I have a few questions to ask you just from a fan, and just I feel like a little nephew to you, Uncle Hank. I won't lie to you. You and Kippy.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Over 50 plus episodes, over 200 plus pieces of content on Patreon alone. Mm-hmm. How do you do it, man? How does it stay together so well?
I mean, Kippy really runs the ship. When we started the podcast, we started it right before the pandemic, and we did it a couple episodes in the city, and then the lockdown happened, and we kind of made a conscious decision to, either we could check the fuck out, or we could, put our foot on the gas, and we just started doing the podcast twice a week over Zoom, and we were luckily able to get bigger comics because they weren't doing anything, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then when things started to loosen up, we got in with Gas Digital, Mr. Louis J. Gomez's outfit. Yep. They were amazing to us. And then around last November, we decided that we wanted to build our own little studio out and create hoodies, and we've been cooking ever since then.
Oh, man. Spoken like a true hero to me. When did you start comedy? Like, when did you decide that you were going to be a comic?
I started in 2008 in Philadelphia. I had been living up here for about 8 years before that, telling people I was an actor, but I was really just doing coke and hanging out in bars. And then I moved down to Philly, and I really wanted to give something in entertainment a try, so I went to an open mic at the Laugh House, and that was it. It just took, and we stayed down there for about 5 years. We ran our own show, did some road work, just did that kind of shit. And then we moved up here in 2013, a bunch of us from Philly, and just grinded it out for a while. Kevin and I did a couple different podcasts before we started Are You Garbage, and we just we used to play Are You Garbage with each other when we would drive to road gigs. Did you do this when you were a kid? Did you do that when you were a kid? And one night we were like, this was our truest self. So we decided to do it. And that was pretty much it.
Oh, that's incredible, man. A few of my buddies, we've just kind of played that game over the years, and so all of them are still patrons because they're a little bit more better than me in life. But they love the podcast. They think it's incredible.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's so cool to see people feel proud to be who they are. You know what I mean? Like and nowadays it's so full of negative. It's such negative in the world. You know what I mean? So much negativity. And you guys really shed a light on the good, on the happiness. You know what I mean? It's so cool to see that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we we made a conscious decision that at the time things were very political and all that kind of stuff, and we kind of had this idea that everybody was kind of the same, whether you grew up with money, you grew up without money. Everybody has a little garbage in them, and that seems to be true. The connection that we found with the audience is amazing. From us sharing our garbage history, and people getting to share theirs, it's a liberating thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. I want to know, so in your IMDb, I got to know, were you actually in Iron Fist?
I was. I played a hot dog vendor.
Okay, right. That's correct. Okay, so I want to know, now that Disney Plus officially has them on Disney Plus now, how does it feel to be MCU canon? How did you get on Iron Fist?
3 years that I was up here, I started out as an actor. I went to theater school and all that shit. And when we were coming up in the village, I was like, I want to get into acting. So I started going out and like shitty little short film auditions, student films, and I built up a little reel. And then I got a manager that started sending me out on acting jobs. And that show was just was starting up, and the casting director liked me, and I got a part on it. Just normal, bozo actor shit.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the canon, what was cool is it never really developed because the show never really took off. But the baseball hat that I wear in it is apparently an Easter egg for Marvel, because it's some baseball team that only exists in the Marvel universe or something like that. So that was pretty cool to do that.
It makes me want to start watching it now that Uncle Hank is in there. I'm
in it for like 2 seconds.
Hey, worth it to me. First time
I'm not fighting Wolverine or anything like that.
That's fine. I'm just saying, Kevin Feige, if you're watching this right now, hook it up.
Let's go, bozo. Yeah, let's go.
Put us in the X-Men, all three of us, me, you, and Kippy. Put T-Bone in. He'll just be an off-screen voice.
That's good stuff.
Okay, I have a few more questions, and then I'll let you head out. What happened to you playing football? You've touched on it a little bit in the podcast. How good were you really?
I wasn't. I mean, I was okay in high school. In college, the team that I played on was really good for Division III. They were ranked number 2 in the country, but I was very, very small compared to everybody else, and it was a very short-lived career. I blew out my knee my freshman year. And then by the time my sophomore year came around, the guys that they had brought in from the freshman class, they were all, I was the smallest guy by like 100 pounds on the defensive line. So
okay.
we just like to joke about it on the podcast, because anything glory days or anything high school, Kippy likes to make fun of me for.
How did you and Kippy meet? Y'all met in Philly?
Met in Philly, yeah. I was running a show out of the Raven Lounge in Philadelphia.
Right.
Kevin started comedy. Kevin started comedy maybe a couple of years after me, and he came in, and I think I was bumming cigarettes off of him, and we started working together on a couple of little sketches and stuff like that, and we both just clicked. We both had the same kind of work ethic, et cetera, and we just became buddies. I ended up moving in with them, and that was it. And then when we moved up here, our bond became a lot stronger. You know what I mean? You get up here, you only have a few friends, and we both had the same, the same
work ethic and mindset.
Drive. Yeah. So that was really it. So that's how we met, and I've been annoying him ever since.
So essentially, you were able to find out what works best with you through your friends, through your trial and error, through your friendships. Your friends bringing out the best in you, essentially. Yes,
100%. Yeah, we were in Philly. We were all very hypercritical of each other. We never babied each other at all. We, if you bombed, you heard about it.
Yep.
And we all kind of pushed each other very strongly to get better. And it really worked out.
I see a few of my friends were very homeschooled, is what we call them, and so they don't really understand the ribbing or the roasting and things like that. And so I 100% feel like your little nephew. Like when I say that, I'm like, oh yeah, because that's Uncle Kippy. Like I watch that more than I hang out with my friends nowadays because I relate more to you guys, and I found a whole other outlet, and it's perfect. Do you have any more want in your life to act, to be in anything else?
I do. I do want to act more. You know, a lot of that, you know, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but a lot of that comes down to, you know, who your representation is. If they can get you in certain rooms and stuff like that. And, you know, that just never really happened for me. You know, I was going to probably keep going down the same path of, you know, fat guy number 2, pizza guy, delivery guy, this, that, the other thing. You know, and we're also from the mindset of, you know, making your own thing. So I made a web series right before we started doing Are You Garbage that was really satisfying to me. It's called We Don't Know. It's on Instagram. They're just little vignettes about a relationship with me and a very funny comedian and actress, Irene Morales.
Yes, I've seen those. Yes, I was going to ask you about those.
Yeah, so we did that. And, you know, doing Gillian Keys really opened my eyes because, you know, a lot of times you go on auditions or you get a part on something and you're like, you know, this fucking, like, it sucks. And it's like, you know, why am I doing this? But when I worked on Gillian Keys, I was like, holy shit, man. Like, I want to do this forever with these guys because they're just so fucking good at it and they're all your friends. So, you know, the plan is to, you know, do something when the time is right. But, you know, as of right now, it's all Are You Garbage? You know, I would never, you know, leave the podcast for a couple of months and go make $1,500 in Atlanta shooting some piece of shit TV show.
Right.
Got the bozos and the homies, so
I understand.
But yeah, it's still in there a little bit.
Do we see any Are You Garbage skits with Kippy? Like, do we see like you guys bringing in like Akash or like Chrissy D or something like one, or even more like Tommy or something, or like Shane? Do we see that coming out anytime soon?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Maybe down the road, maybe. I don't know how much interest Kevin has in that. You know, we'll see how things play out. But I do have kind of a sinking suspicion that, you know, these other, you know, these pillars of our industry, you know, you got like Schultz, you got all those guys. You know, I would assume that, you know, the things like that are going to naturally develop. Like, I mean, these people they're not just stand-up comics. They're creating, you know, multi-million-dollar companies. You know what I mean? That you know, I could see branching out into shit like that. But I honestly have no idea.
Okay, I understand.
I'm a fat idiot. I don't know what I'm saying.
I understand. Hey, man, it's hard for me to even do all this stuff. You know,
don't be silly. 100%. I appreciate you asking me. I don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't know what anybody else is doing. And yeah, we don't really have any plans for that kind of stuff as of right now. I mean, those are things that I'm interested in, but who knows? But everybody's cooking. That's the point. Everybody's cooking.
Yes, 100%, absolutely. From Schultz's comedy to even, first of all, your stand-up special. My dad loves comedy. His favorite episode you guys have done is with Chaz.
Of course.
Oh, of course. And the one with Tommy and Chris.
Oh yeah, forget it. Those two are the best.
Yeah,
gang, if you're out there and you're not watching Stuff Island, do yourself a favor. They are fantastic.
I will leave a link in my description because I love that show so much. Even I believe it's Take a Dish, something like, I believe.
Yeah.
It's their cooking show. Incredible. I want to see Mr. Foley on it.
Oh, I'll be asking them. Believe me, Tommy can cook. I can tell you that.
Yes. I've heard the stories among several podcasts, and it's amazing. I want to know who is your favorite guest.
Parliamentary's up there. Tommy and Chris definitely. You know, any of the homies. We had an unbelievable time with Tim Dillon, with Schultz, with Chrissy D. I mean, those guys are really, you know, Akash. Those guys are all really great. Giannis, you know, and like any time that like a bigger comic, you know, they don't need to do the show, and it's really awesome when they take the time out of their schedule to come and, you know, help us out because that raises our profile. Ari Shafir has been amazing to us. Lewis has been amazing to us. So those kind of episodes, they really mean a lot to me.
Yeah, see, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you're a wholesome man. You give wholesome answers. That's exactly what I was looking for, and I caught it. I caught it. It's Field of Dreams. I'm playing catch right now with Uncle Foley.
Yes, you are.
Why? Tell me why. Go ahead. Tell and the fans, why is it worth it? I know, obviously, but why is it worth it for the fans to get that Patreon?
Well, the Patreon gives you, the regular podcast, the Are You Garbage podcast that we do on YouTube and iTunes and stuff. That's us putting our best foot forward. When you get on to Hard Feelings, you really see us as who we are. You see, it's really pulling back the curtain. You see us arguing, all my fuck-ups, all my emotions. You see Kevin getting frustrated with me. T-Bone's chiming in a lot more. You really see, you really see behind the fourth wall. You really see us break the fourth wall, if that's the right term.
No, 100%. Oh, man, fuck yes. Okay, so those are all of my questions because I wanted to leave them kind of short for you. I have a few Are You Garbage questions just to get them out of the way.
Go right ahead.
All right, so number one, is it garbage to have Walmart bags exclusively as trash bags?
You mean the reusable ones?
Yes.
I don't know.
No. The little plastic ones you get like at the checkout line. You put them in your bathroom or something.
Oh yeah, that's fucking trash. If you have one hanging off your silverware drawer, you're garbage.
No, is it garbage to have a drawer for your trash bag, your bags?
Everybody does, but yeah, it's trash. We have thousands of them.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And we don't even have a dog. We can't even say that we use it for the dog. We just have them in there. Yeah, and we do the same thing. We put them in the bathroom. We put them in the office. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. It's how we clean the litter box. You know what I mean? We double bag it.
Yeah, exactly.
Gas station sushi, garbage? Yes or no?
Yeah, man.
I had a buddy.
Supermarket sushi.
I had a buddy that got food poisoning from an Easy Mart or from a 7-Eleven.
What the fuck? What are you, crazy?
Yeah, he posted.
Just shoot yourself in the bathroom.
He posted it on his Instagram, and he was like, "Gonna test my fate." And 3 hours later, he said, or 3 or 4 hours later, he said, "Well, guess you guys know what's happening." And you just saw puke all over his lap in the car and everything. It was bad. When you see a train, is it trash when you go in your head and say "train dodge"? Dig it from Stand By Me.
Yeah, man. It's up there with putting the penny on the tracks, waiting for the train to roll it over. That's real garbage.
Fuck yes. Okay. Is it garbage to buy a book off Amazon to learn how to count cards?
No. That's fucking awesome. That's a hustler right there. You got to think outside the box, baby. The house always wins. You got to take them.
That's fucking awesome. Okay. All right. The last one that I have for you. Is it garbage to prefer resin over regular bud because you say it reminds you of a simpler time?
Dude, I spent so many Friday nights surgically scraping out those bowls with a fucking lighter and a fucking paper clip. And I don't know, man. For some reason, when you've had a long day and you're out of weed and you got no fucking money and you scrape that fucking bowl and you take a hit off of that, it just hits.
Oh, man. Fuck yes. That's such a great answer. Oh, man. Mr. Foley, thank you so much for doing my podcast. This has been another episode. This has been another episode of Doug Talks. Where can we find you, obviously?
On Twitter, at HFoley on Ice. On Instagram, Foleygrams. Of course, Are You Garbage is on both of those platforms. You can subscribe to our YouTube page on Are You Garbage on YouTube. And check out the podcast. And we're going to be touring all over. You know, the link tree and all that stuff is in all of our stuff. So come see us.
Middle Class Tour, everyone. Go subscribe to the Patreon. Do it.
Thank you, brother.
This has been absolutely incredible, Mr. Foley. For the past year, you guys have gotten me out of a huge rut in my life, and to say that you guys have saved me is an understatement, sir. So from one man to another, thank you, truly.
Thank you, buddy. You guys saved us. Believe me, trust me, you saved us.
I hope you have a great rest of your night. Get home safe. Get some water in you.
I love you.
Tell Kippy I say hello.
I will. See you, gang. Peace.
Bye, buddy.